Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be revealing to you 11 signs that I think are true for when an emotionally unavailable man is in love with you and you're trying to figure it out. I mean, it's hard to find that perfect companion, and we really can't control the heart when it wants what it wants, especially when we have fallen for an emotionally unavailable man, because we have this avoidant, unavailable people everywhere, and most of us have dated at least one person who qualifies in this category. Sometimes we are the ones who are emotionally unavailable. The truth is that we understand why it happens. Life hurts. I mean, hell, sometimes love hurts. And we're all trying to be guarded, so much so that we don't want people coming in to make us love them. And at the end of the day, they really did not come with a good intention. In fact, most of us have traumas, and it seems like majority of us aren't really dealing with it so well. We're just coping, we're denying, or just trying to move on. And this in return is hurting our love lives without us even knowing it. The truth also is that emotionally unavailable people aren't healing. All right, and you have them a lot in the society. They have the tendency to shut down, to run hot and cold, to run like hell from any sign of permanency or commitment. They're running scared because life has given them every indication that what they're running from can in fact hurt them. But it doesn't mean that this category of men can't love you. They can, but you need to know the signs that they show when they really like you. Okay? Are you ready? Number one, when he makes an effort to be open with you, that's a sign. Now, the emotionally unavailable man may be charming, he may be kind, he may be sociable, but what he's usually not is being open. In fact, that's a key criterion of someone who is emotionally unavailable. They're rarely very open with you. They just don't open up and share how they feel. But if he loves you, you might find that he makes an effort to open up to you. He wants you to see him for who he really is. He wants to be known by you. You will discover that he wants the opportunity to be heard and to express how he's feeling. Not that this isn't natural for him, all right? In fact, it will likely be terrifying for him to be this vulnerable on purpose for you. You may even notice that he struggles with expressing his feelings to you. So if you observe him doing these things, then at least give him some credit for genuinely trying, because it doesn't come easy. It doesn't come naturally for this kind of people. And it's taking a lot for him to try to open up to you. Number two, an emotionally unavailable man doesn't even try to talk about his future with you. So when he starts to talk about a future with you, when he plans a future with you, when he talks about what you will do together, weeks or months or even years down the road, then this is a good sign that he might be in love with you. Sure, he might be emotionally unavailable now, but if he's trying to build a future with you, he might be working on being more available because he knows that it is a necessity to be available to the woman that he loves. After all, it is not a life sentence. Being married or being engaged is not a life sentence. And you know what? He can heal and build that future if he really tries, okay? Number three, he makes an effort to be consistent. Let's face it, emotionally unavailable people are spectacularly inconsistent. Oh my God, I have been there. They are super inconsistent. It is so annoying. They just blow hot and cold. 1 minute, they can't get enough of you. The next minute, they can't wait to pull away from you and just disappear into space. You never hear from them. And when an emotionally unavailable man falls in love with you, he really tries to be consistent with you with calls and all of that stuff. And notice that it is not easy for him. In fact, it is a struggle every day, but he shows up for you. He's consistent with contact. See, he doesn't want you to worry that he's not in a relationship with you because he loves you. This doesn't mean that he would never screw up, or he absolutely will. You can pretty much count on that. But then he will dust himself up, he will make it right, and he will try again. That's what a man in love would do. I mean, I would say don't just give up on him yet if you really do love him. Number four, you may also find out that he might pull away regardless. I tell you, this one might be sort of confusing, but sometimes, you know, the emotionally unavailable man will pull away from you because he's likely freaking out about his feelings for you, and he needs space to process his feelings for you. And I know that when you're in love with an emotionally unavailable man, this just might break your heart, and it might even go as far as breaking your relationship too. Because trust me, I have been there. Like I said before, you just need to weigh your options based on how these affects you mentally and emotionally. And if it's too much for you to handle, then you know what to do. You know the best actions to take. All right. After all, he's not the only one on earth. He's not the only man on earth. But if you're really strong and you're willing to fight for him, then I would say wait on, because if he loves you, if he truly, truly loves you, he's definitely going to come back. Honestly, I don't know how long it's going to take, but believe me when I say that the emotionally unavailable men that I have known run, and they keep running. Some don't even come back, but I firmly believe that if he really loved you in the first place, if he still loves you, he's going to be back to let you know that the space he took wasn't about you, it was about him. So let's assume that maybe he only pulled away for a few hours or few days or even months. If he loves you, he's coming back. And if he doesn't come back, there are a couple of good possibilities out there. And then it's either that he doesn't really love you and that hurts and you have to suck it all up, or he loved you, but he just couldn't love himself enough to stay with you. Number 5, he cares about your feelings. See, an emotionally unavailable man in love cares about your feelings. All right. He doesn't want to hurt you. He will try really hard not to be a person who causes you pain. But if he does cause you pain, if his issues manage to hurt you, as often as they do, he will be overcome with guilt and shame for just being the person who caused you grief. If he cares deeply about how you feel, it will definitely come out in all of his actions. Sure, he's emotionally unavailable. He's shut down sometimes and has trouble showing any difficult emotion. But he also loves you. He's your best friend and your lover, and hurting you will definitely hurt him. That's how much he cares. Even if he can't express it in the way that you want him to, he will definitely show it in guilt and all of that stuff. Number 6, when he starts having that couple mentality in conversations with you, you know that your unavailable man loves you a little too much, albeit scared to show it. So let's say that you have noticed that this man has developed that we and us mentality in conversations. It's nothing short of the fact that he may have accepted the idea of both of you being a couple, and it comes through in how, you know, he talks about the two of you. So you can be sure that the we and us references that he makes means that you are just included in everything that has to do with him. He's thinking of you because he loves you, and you have a couple's identity to go with your separate individual ones. All right. Number 7, understand that the emotionally unavailable man always longs for space. But if he wants to be with you, if he wants to be near you, and he's planning for the next date, or he's making plans to see you, he's highly motivated to be near you, even though he's usually feeling pressured at this point in relationship. So instead of feeling suffocated, he longs to be near you. We could call that a clue. Okay, we could call that a clue that he really loves you. And number 8, when intimacy becomes emotional and not just physical, then he's in love with you for real, for real. Also keep in mind that while emotionally unavailable men can ace, you know, that physical intimacy part of relationship, the difference here with the man that loves or digs you is that you will notice something curious happening when he falls in love with you. The intimacy becomes more than physical. Emotional intimacy starts to develop too. All right. You see more emotions when he's intimate with you. He lets you into his space and into part of his private life. And I hope you know how unusual this is for him. It just goes to show you that he loves you. He shares with you, and he's trying his best to be with you, to bring you into his life. You can see his effort. And if you confront him with an issue, he's working on it. That kind of deep inner work is pretty sexy, but you will have to notice that your emotional connection just keeps getting deeper and deeper, even when you're doing little more than sitting, you know, side by side in the same room and saying nothing. But that there is just this emotional connection between both of you. And number 9, if he's trying to meet you halfway, then that's a sign. Emotionally unavailable men don't try to meet you halfway. Now, one of the biggest signs that emotionally unavailable man loves you is that they try to meet you halfway. And this has nothing to do with, you know, geographic distance. This simply means that he is just trying. He's genuinely trying to share, to compromise, and to do the hard work of maintaining a stable relationship. And none of this is natural for someone who fears intimacy or commitment. Yet, when he loves you, he really tries to do better. Better for himself, better for you. He knows that his issues could sabotage the relationship, and he's trying like hell. Baby, trust me, he's trying as hell to stop that from happening. He's trying to avoid it at all costs. He's meeting you halfway. He's willing to work on the issues. If this happens with your unavailable man, then know that he does it because he loves you. Number 10, he introduces you to his friends and families. And if you want to know if an emotionally unavailable man is in love with you, ask yourself, how open is he about the relationship with his family and friends? Even more so, does he introduce you to them? Now listen, if he wants you to know the people who mean the most to him, he probably is in love with you. Because usually emotionally unavailable men dodge this introduction, all right? They don't want social media selfies. They don't post you on social media. And they don't invite you to be around their people. They don't invite you to be around their social climb. Their lives tend to be highly compartmentalized. But when he loves you, he wants you to be part of that life. Even though it's too scary, he wants you to be part of it. And lastly, number 11, when he starts to ask you for your opinion, that's also a sign that he loves you. Because the truth is that emotionally unavailable men don't freaking often ask you for help. They don't even solicit for outside opinions, all right? He's learned the hard way not to let other people know when something is wrong. Yet, if he's asking you for your opinion, that means that he's including you in his thought process while making decisions, all right? So know that he trusts your input. He trusts you, and your opinion matters to him. And believe it or not, this is a step towards being emotionally available to you as an emotionally unavailable man. All right then. I hope this makes a lot of sense to you, and just maybe this is also a sign to not give up on your emotionally unavailable man, because they can actually put in the work if they want to. All right? Keyword, if they want to. They can.